Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is Kmumvlogs, and for today's video, I am going to talk about things that you should think about before considering to migrate here in Canada. So if you're interested, please keep on watching. Hi everyone. All right. So before I start, maybe you're wondering why I am sitting here by the stairs. It's because I have a better lighting here and I feel like you can see me better if I'm sitting here. All right. So to start, I just want to give a little background. I've been in Canada for almost 10 years already. So everything that I'm going to be sharing here is based from my personal experience, from someone I know, and I just kind of like put them together to give you guys a good idea on things that you should question about yourself before deciding whether this is the right path for you. If you're ready, let's start with number one. So for the first one, you have to start on a clean slate. What it means is you have to start, I would say, starting from scratch, because even if you have a good work experience, it is different when you come here and start your life. Everything is gonna be uncertain, and you should be willing to begin your life again from step one. Number two is your housing and your transportation. So if you are living in a house and you have your own car back in your home country and you're going to migrate in Canada, make sure that you are willing to rent an apartment and maybe start with not a very fancy car in the beginning unless you have the money. So some people can, migrate and then buy a house right away. So they are, like fortunate people and they have the capability to do that. So if you're not willing to rent an apartment and, start with very, like simple car, then these are the things that you have to consider. Next thing is getting the same job as what you have from your home country. If you're a doctor, if you're a nurse, if you're a teacher, an engineer, don't expect that you will land the job that you want from the very beginning. So be open to start with a survival job, and you will know from a lot of stories that um, people don't get the job that they really wanted, like a high profile job at the very beginning. And that's normal here in Canada for immigrants. You need to upgrade your education first or do some exams before you're able to do the same job that you are doing from your home country. From a personal experience, I studied 2 courses already. So I studied a diploma back 5 years ago, and now I'm just completing my bachelor's degree, my second bachelor's degree, in order for me to be competitive at work as well. You have to do your qualification, your credentials, and some upgrading before you're able to perform your job as a professional nurse or whatever profession you may have. So next tip is about survival jobs. And I know maybe you've heard this many times on, a lot of people who migrated in countries like the States or Canada. So survival jobs are jobs in retail, in groceries, like basic jobs that someone can earn minimum wage. So these jobs will help you to pay your rent, to pay your bills and things like that. So you can start searching about it and maybe think about getting some experience maybe at your home country, whether you can do these type of jobs. I work as a cashier at Walmart for I think a year, on and off, just to help me with my bills. So these things you have to be ready. If you're willing to do those survival jobs, then it's fine. Next thing is people think about Canada as you're earning dollars, so that means you can be rich right away or you can earn lots of money. That is not the case. The higher your annual salary is, the higher your taxes. So think about if you're earning $120,000 a year, 30 to 40% will just go to taxes. So guys, it's not like the same in Philippines or maybe in Dubai, which you don't pay a lot of taxes. If you earn 10,000 dirhams a month, all of that money goes into your pocket. So that is not the same case here in Canada. You have to pay taxes. Next thing to think about is if you are not independent, don't come to Canada. Why? Because you can't be a lazy bug or a couch potato here in Canada. Men and women do the same job. If you know how to change your tires, do your plumbing work or things like that, you have to be handy because that will help you save a lot of money. And I'm saying that because everything here, you pay someone who fix your sink. Probably you pay everything per hour. If you can do things on your own by yourself, then you are in a good place. It's not very common for a family to have a helper. I know in Asian countries, we depend a lot on our yaya, on our kasambahay to do the household chores for us. Here in Canada is very different. You have to do everything from cooking, from cleaning, washing your car and everything, even to put gas. I know in Dubai, in Philippines, there is a gas boy who can fill your gas, but here in Canada is very different. You have to do everything on your own. And also you can pay someone to clean your house, and a lot of Canadians do that. They pay cleaners to come every week, but they pay, I think, around $30 to $40 per hour to clean the house every week. If they're so busy, if the family are so busy and they can't do the house cleaning anymore, you can hire someone to do the cleaning for you. But again, if you're handy, if you know how to do all these labors, you're gonna save a lot of money. Next point is winter. If you cannot tolerate cold weather, don't come to Canada because we get -40, -50 here during winter. And I don't know if you have an experience, going to a cold place. Probably yes, probably not. I am from the Philippines, so we have a tropical weather, which is very opposite from where I am right now. And also, I lived in UAE for 10 years before coming here. So I've been to a very hot city prior to coming here to Canada. So if you have the courage and if you are mentally ready, physically ready to tolerate the cold weather, then sure. And if not, this is not the place for you. Forget about all the fashion, especially if you're in Alberta. Forget about your fashion, clothing, your things like that, because here everybody wears thick jacket and really bundle up to dress for the weather. So during winter, which happens roughly 6 months a year of cold weather, if you cannot tolerate that, this is not the place for you. But if you're gonna go to, say, Toronto or Vancouver, I think they have a warmer weather compared to Alberta. So you have to think about that. Next one is if you are not an introvert person, don't come to Canada. I'm joking. So next one is homesick and depression. So how will I say this? It's very difficult for someone who is migrating to a foreign country and start their life. I know that is a very huge decision that we have to make, and comes with that is our relationship with other people. Just think about you going to a place where you don't know anybody, right? So you have to be mentally prepared that you're gonna experience homesick and depression. And I know a lot of immigrants who were here but cannot be depressed and they're feeling so sad and they want to go back to their home country. They forget about Canada because they said this is not the place for us. So I tell you guys, if you want to migrate in Canada, you have to be mentally prepared, emotionally prepared that you're gonna experience homesickness and depression. And especially if you are alone in this city, if you don't have any friends, if you don't have any relative, that is a very big challenge. Next tip is, if you are not an extrovert, then you're gonna have a big problem. And why I'm saying this is, in order for you to land a good um, position, it's very important to know how to network. You have to socialize, you have to meet people, you have to market yourself so that you will grow your network and be able to build that connection, and you build that relationship with other people. So socializing is very important. You have to know how to talk to people, how to connect with the right people in order for you to grow your network and be friend with the right people so that you can ask help from them, whether it is career or maybe some questions about your life here in Canada, getting a house, getting a mortgage, or getting a car. It's very important for you to network. So for the next topic is about your cover letter and your resume. So if you are not ready to change and adapt the style here in Canada, you will have a problem, because there are things that we do. For example, in Philippines, we put our photo on our resume. That is not the way here. They don't care about how pretty you are. So there are many things that you have to consider on making your resume. And also the cover letter is very, very important. If we don't do cover letters back home, here that is your elevator speech of your resume. So in order for the hiring person to read your resume, your cover letter must be impressive, and there are ways to do that, and I am going to make another video about building an effective cover letter and resume. So the next one is, if you're not willing to adopt the Canadian culture, then again, that's another challenge. So, as you know, Canada is a multicultural. We'll meet a lot of different communities, maybe like from, say, Arabic communities, Filipino, Indian communities, a lot of different communities. So, make sure that you are not just sticking on your own little bubble. You have to welcome the new culture, know the history of Canada, know their food, their sports, the weather, things that you can talk about when you start, talking to Canadians, like what are the topics that are interesting for them. And I will give you a tip. Number one is weather. So that's the first thing that we talk when we start our conversation with, someone. We can say that, how's the weather today? How's the weather gonna be like? So things like that, right? So make sure that you're open to know their culture, know them, be friend with them. And I tell you guys, Canadians are so polite. They are the best. Like, they're so respectful and they're so friendly. So next point is, if you are not willing to be a good citizen, then this is not a place for you, because Canadians are very polite. They obey rules. They don't litter. They love their nature a lot. If you have visited Canada, you will see how beautiful the country is. And it's because of the citizen, of the people here. And I'm not only saying, by, making sure that you don't litter or you don't throw garbage anywhere. It can be from, like traffic rules, giving pedestrian the way, giving space to people. When you line up, you don't, like move very close to them, because Canadians, they like space, because this is a big country. So everybody has their own space. So make sure, if you're paying, if you're in a queue, give that space to them, because they will appreciate that. So there's so many things actually that I have learned from the past 10 years that I've been here. I learn a lot from them, actually, from the traffic. You don't just cut, people off, and then it's funny, but that's the truth. Um, Also, we don't wear perfumes here a lot because we have to be mindful of other people who might have allergies, because a lot of people here are very sensitive to perfumes. So there are so many things that you have to know before coming here in Canada. And if you're not willing to adapt and to change or break the bad habit, then this is not a place for you. Another point, if you are not willing to take public transportation, then it's a problem. Because as you know, if you're new in this place and you don't have a car yet, you have to ride public transportation. And even if you want to go for an interview, get your grocery, maybe you will have to experience this, like carrying all your groceries with you and then taking a bus. So yeah, just be ready. And I think talking from where I am, from the Philippines, we don't have any problem with that because we have jeepney, and then it's actually way easier. You just pay, I don't know how much, but you can go to places because it connects to a different, there's so many terminals. So public transportation is not an issue for Filipinos like me because I'm so used to that. And in Dubai, where I used to live for almost 10 years, I don't have an issue with that because they have a very good public transportation as well. And I can also drive. So we are on our last tip. I would say don't come to Canada if you don't have the funds. Because guys, remember, everything will be from your pocket from the beginning. Maybe you have to have around like 6 months to pay for your rent, for your bills, for your food. So make sure you have all the funds that you will need prior to coming to Canada, unless you have relatives, you have brothers, sisters, or cousins that can help you, cover these things while you are starting your life here in Canada. That's all right, guys. So I think that's the end of it. I hope this video means something, help you to think about all these questions that you have in your mind, probably thinking about whether Canada is the place for you. I'm not discouraging you to come here in Canada. I encourage everybody to come here. This is a very good, beautiful country, but make sure that you are mentally ready so that you will enjoy the new life here in Canada. And if you have any question, please comment down below. And thank you for watching. Please don't forget to subscribe on my channel and click like and leave your comment. This is Kmumvlogs, and thank you guys for watching. I'll see you again next time. Bye.